in your very, very good campaign na maglikom po ng material for ating mga frontliners. Sabi ko, she must be a good woman. And sabi ko, she is also a journalist. Sabi ko, that's a magandang combination yon. Kaya nga lang ho, ako naniniwala rin ako after today's exchange and after admission that hindi po nakabase sa katotohanan and you just reflected your opinions that maybe I think you will also agree that we want to level up itong pagko-content creation and that maybe and definitely this kind of content creation should not be tolerated and is unsustainable and is detrimental to our country, to the future generations. And we cannot keep a blind eye sa pangyayaring ito. We must put a stop to it. Naniniwala po ako, nasa puso po ng mga content creators na gusto nila sa hanay nila mapabilang ang mga serious content creators. This is the reason why, Mr. Chair, since two TRICOM meetings ago, I have been pushing for self-regulation. Alam nyo, I have an MA in journalism from the University of the Basque Country, and for several years I practiced journalism. And I realize, I'm fully aware of the importance of that basic constitutional right to freedom of expression. But just like any other constitutional right, this is not unlimited. It is the duty of the state always na bantayan ito how we exercise this constitutional right to protect public interest. And I'm fully aware also that in order to reconcile these two concepts, may I ask for a little silence? I'm being distracted.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Can we maintain decorum? Please remain silent when somebody is interpolating. Thank you. Please proceed.
I fully realize that in order for the state to exercise its function, to protect public interest while responding and recognizing the basic right to freedom of expression, we always have to look for the least restrictive means. This is the scrutiny test that we as legislators should always apply. And this is the purpose why we in fact have this TRICOM. This is an investigation in aid of legislation. To give you a brief background, and later on I'll be asking some of our resource persons, including the guests who did not attend in previous committee hearings, what their opinion is. I will briefly detail to you what the Digital Council of the Philippines is. Basically, this is a council that hopefully among your ranks you will take the initiative to form. Similar to the Ad Standards Council of the Philippines, similar to the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters ng Filipinas. Now, what is the purpose of this Digital Council of the Philippines? Among yourselves, you should come up with a code of conduct and standards and regulations na galing sa inyo. Wag po galing sa amin. Dahil ako naniniwala ako na bilang mga manunulat, bilang content creators, you would want to uphold what is true. Not necessarily what is beautiful, because sometimes the truth hurts and sometimes the truth is ugly. We recognize that. And now, once you have your code of conduct and your code of ethics, what do? You apply it to your members. So, who will compose this Digital Council of the Philippines? Number one, associations of content creators. Number two, advertisers. Kasi alam ko, dyan sa mundo ng social media, marami po tayong advertising nagaganap at malaking pera rin po ang gumagalaw at umiikot dyan. Number three, we should also have the DICT. Kinakailangan din natin kahit paano may representation ang government. Dapat din po nandiyan ang the world of, the academe, so that we can also use this digital council to educate the people on critical thinking and responsible use of social media. Nariyan din po, maaari nating ilagay mga PR practitioners and what have you. So this Digital Council of the Philippines serves many purposes. As I said, education. Number two, I don't want to use the word self-policing, but how should I term it? Leveling up our own ranks, professionalization maybe. Palagay ko, it is to the interest of everybody para maging kagalang-galang naman ang sektor na ito. Sapagkat sa mahabang panahon, dahil nga sa pagdami ng mga irresponsible content creators, ay nasisiraan naman o nasisiraan ng pangalan yung mga seryoso. Okay. Now, the other purpose of this council, it could be the body kung saan maaari po tayong dumulog kung sakaling meron po tayong nahuhuli na fake news, kung tayo ay nabibiktima. Kung ako yung, for example, businessman na na-AI ang aking itsura at bigla na lang ako nagbebenta ng produkto ng aking rival. O kaya kung ako man ay yung, I don't know, aside from business owners, private individual whose reputation has been unfairly tarnished. Kung ako man ang politician, kung ako man yung vlogger din na maaring ginantihan at binigyan ng false information, maaari rin ako dumulog sa Digital Council of the Philippines. And of course, this Digital Council of the Philippines, hindi po namin yan ile-legislate sang-ayon sa, hindi namin kaya yan. Ang gusto ko po sana, manggaling rin sana sa hanay ng mga stakeholders. What we can legislate here from the committee is how the major social media platforms could respond once a piece of content is flagged as fake. After that fact-checking process na according to my consultations, kaya namang gampanan. You can do it in a few minutes. Diba? Sa TikTok, I'm sure other social media platforms could also do the same. And ang mangyayari po niyan, pag na-flag nga po yung content na yan as fake, then we can require by law the social media platforms to flag it also as fake news. Parang yung mga community notes, may annotation, para man lamang mabigyan ng katarungan. I'm not going as far as saying that you have to take down that content, but although TikTok does that. Am I right? Mr. Chair, yeah.
Mr. Chair, yes. We
Yes.
take down content that contains harmful misinformation.
Yes. So at this point, Mr. Chair, after explaining briefly what my proposal is, and which is also a response to the call made by Yusek Ruiz, may I begin to ask some of our resource persons about their opinions about this. I would like to ask Ms. Gazette Laureta Chu, whose opinion I also value. Ms. Laureta Chu, anong palagay niyo kung tayo ay magfo-form ng isang Digital Council of the Philippines, tapos kasama na rin dyan yung registry ng mga vloggers at content creators? Mr. Chair, maaari... Ay? Yes, please go ahead, Ms. Laureta Chu.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. That's a very good idea as long as the parameters are clear. Like, for example, since what you want is to reduce the amount of fake news, we will have to come up with, it's a very good idea because then a lot of the people who have a massive following will also be accountable. But we just need to know what we consider massive following, how many people, kasi ma'am, ang problema dito, nabibili ang likes, nabibili ang following. So, posibleng, kunyari, sa Facebook nila, madaming likes, pero hindi naman totoong marami silang likes. Makikita nyo po sa engagement yon. If they have like 200,000 followers, but then they only have 3 people commenting, binili nila yon. So, ang dami pong problema doon kasi ma'am, when you're part of an organization, it gives you credibility. So when you do interviews, people will listen to you. Like congressman will give you time of day. Hindi nila alam na fake lang pala yung likes mo, fake lang pala yung engagement mo. So how do we delineate between real influencers and influencers who just bought their likes and engagement? So apart from that, ma'am,
Yes.
Oo.
Mr. Chair, actually that what she has just expressed clearly proves that we have to set parameters and start having regulations. But the idea of having a registry of social media content creators, may I have your opinion? Because recently I have been bashed and accused of trying to exercise censorship and trying to curtail the basic freedom, this basic constitutional freedom to freedom of expression. What is your honest opinion on coming up with a registry of content creators? Hindi ko naman sabihin lahat kasi sapagkat sa Facebook, pag tinanong ko anong occupation mo, lahat nakasulat content creator. Siyempre, hindi naman po pwede yon. Siguro, katulad nga po ng sinabi ng ating resource person, dapat merong minimum number of followers or ano, which we can decide later on. But I'd like to ask, ano po bang opinion ninyo tungkol doon sa the very idea of having a registry? Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am. It's a very good undertaking as long as what we regulate is an association of what do you call this, content creators who are outside of mainstream media so that they are also accountable. Pero yun lang, ma'am, yung concern ko kung ilan ang magiging followers nila, kung totoo yung followers nila. And also, what about those who do not, is it going to be voluntary, or those who are not who do not volunteer to join, what kind of remedies para meron din silang accountability? Ang akin lang, ma'am, and that's what we initially stood for, is that while we can do this for all of us, for everyone who wants to be a social media, nobody should be able to regulate free speech para wala tayong, because it's in our constitution. As long as what we regulate is the use of the platforms and the power and credibility given to all these people, as long as walang, lalo na sir, lalo na ma'am, government agencies. Kasi ngayon, it's going to be, what about next time? What about may mahanap tayo na presidente or senator na abusado or congressman, and they will use it against all of us, or people here who are, like, kunyari, this administration, you're in power, next administration, you're not in power, then they'll use it
Mr. Chair, I think, yes, I would like to focus on what you just said, and also remind you that this constitutional right is not absolute and not without limits. Meron ding parameters ngayon. And what we intend to do here is basically to flag the content. This is our way of administering justice to those who are victimized by fake news. Alam nyo, imposible naman na makontrol natin lahat ng content creators. There will be those who will not want to join this. So we have to be creative in thinking of means how to encourage them to join the ranks of serious content creators. May I proceed to another resource person, Mr. Chair? I would like to ask the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines. Mr. Mauricio? No.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, I'm here on behalf of Donald Lim, who is part of the Creators and Influencers Council, but I myself am a trustee.
Yes. Mr. Chair, I would like to find out how many members does the Creators and Influencers Council of the Philippines have? More or less.
I apologize, Your Honor. I am not part of the
All right,
Creators.
all right.
Okay.
Can you give me a rough idea? Is there like 1,000?